In this video, we will be looking at reviewing the data collected from your staff and students, so you will be able to better assess the capacity for delivering an improvement program. From your data collection sources, you should now have a sense of the knowledge, information, values, preferences, attitudes and beliefs of your staff and students towards technology. In our incubation model, you will remember that the outer layer is gaining commitment from the leadership team before embarking on a change program. The knowledge gained from the surveys, questionnaires and interviews will help you to articulate the areas where digital leadership needs to focus and make evidence-based decisions about the level and scale of support needed and where capacity is greatest. We need to create consensus, alignment and commitment around the goals and vision. When looking at the data you have collected, it is worth considering the differences and similarities between the perspectives of students and teachers. Often these goals are very different or tied exclusively to their roles in the school. For instance, teachers may be immediately motivated by finding out how technology can best support their teaching, and learners are more interested in what technology they can learn with. In a nutshell, it is often the case that learners want to directly use technology to learn, and teachers want to directly use technology to teach. We can look at the data to see where the gaps are in perception as well as skill and competency. In this example, a school of 100 teaching staff were asked to choose 3 areas of CPD they would most like to have based on technology. Immediately, it is clear that the majority of staff wanted more training and support in the classroom tools available, IWB, G Suite, both tools that staff were required and expected to use already in the school. Other high scores were about apps that specifically target feedback and assessment. This may suggest that these teachers wanted to focus on their immediate needs of content delivery and time saving on tasks such as marking or test grading. Although there is some interest around video editing and green screen, this indicates that technology is seen as an augmentation to the role of teachers rather than something students can use to learn or need to become proficient in. However, it gives us valuable information about the security and confidence of the team on the technology currently used in classrooms. The requested areas indicate a need to expand on current practice or close some skill gaps around basic classroom technology. In a similar survey in the same school, 100 students were also asked to select 3 areas they would like to see more of. The results indicate that they would like to be using mobile technology more frequently, and also show a strong desire to learn the skills of video editing and recording, a medium they all use regularly in and outside of school. It is clear to see that in this school, these students prioritize learning contemporary skills and using equipment that is relevant and common to them in their school environment. In this example, the results from a small sample of staff in a Google form show that whilst the staff already claims to use G Suite in their school, over 70% of teachers are not secure on consistent use of it, indicating that use is actually quite shallow, and there are pockets of staff who may not have had training or simply bypass using it at all. This type of data may indicate that there are gaps in initial training, induction procedures for new staff on how to use school systems, poor implementation, lack of articulation of purpose, or a laissez-faire approach to technology by management. In these cases, technology is situated and used, but leadership will be about refocusing, modelling, and defining how current systems are used. Part of this will involve tightening up policy and procedures, and we will deal with this later in the course. From the interviews you have had, it is also worthwhile to consider the values and attitudes of key stakeholders by mapping the responses to a quadrant. Once you have been through this process, if you end up with a quadrant with lots of stakeholders in different parts, it will become evident why you need to get the full backing of leadership to articulate the goals and vision of the program you intend to follow. For instance, if you had a lot of stakeholders in the top half of the quadrant, your chance of achieving the goals will theoretically be a bit easier. If your stakeholders indicate the lower half of the quadrant, then you will need to focus more on changing the mindsets and values around technology that may exist. Similarly, your data can be transposed into force field analysis, where you can outline how different forces act for or against the goal of improving the use of educational technology in your school. Using models like this will help you to show the big picture to your leadership team, so they will understand why and where investment or capacity will need to be increased. The aim is to provide as much clarity and information about current starting points so there are no surprises or sudden requests for investment of time or money along the way that could derail your plan. You are nearly ready to take your findings to the leadership team to get clarity and commitment around your goals. Throughout this exercise, you should be getting a sense of how much capacity there is in the system to effect improvement. For those who already have the means to improve, it will be a case of target setting, leading and focusing them on the desired areas of improvement. For some teachers, their needs will be learning ones, of upskilling, gaining confidence, and having support towards the school's goals. In the next video, we will look at how to align the use of technology with the school's ethos and how to create buy-in from all stakeholders around agreed goals and success criteria.